It's not easy to mentally stay bullish after recent market dip. I know it. I understand. And it is not easy to remain calm a few days after when we are not seeing a very strong market recovery. So in today's video, I'm going to show you some charts I'm looking at these days, which I feel the market is trying to scare us and the bull trend is not reversed and everything is still intact. And then let's jump in right into this chart. So the very first chart I'm going to see you today is the ETH BTC chart. So this chart I have been showing to you for a long time, and today I think it's a very good time and it's the right time to show you. So we are seeing in the weekly chart, I draw two yellow lines. So ETH BTC chart has been moving in a downward trend for almost 3 years. And in August 2024, we are seeing the ETH dips to the lowest $1,600 and then had a V-shaped recovery. So the ETH BTC chart has shown the same thing. And since April 2025, ETH has been outperformed BTC, so that's why we're seeing the huge V-shaped recovery. And now we are seeing the ETH BTC chart has been trending back into this downward trend, right? So this is very, very similar to the ETH USD chart. So if we go back to the C, we are seeing the ETH break down to this triangle trend, and then we have a huge V-shaped recovery back to this trend. And if we're moving to, we'll zoom in a little bit. So we are seeing that ETH has had a 1, 2, 3, almost 3 weeks consolidation within the range. If we're moving this a little bit, up a little bit, and then ETH start to break out to the upside, and we formed the all-time high, right? So if we go back to see the ETH BTC chart, we are seeing that the consolidation has been longer than the ETH USD because of the overall market momentum and also the fundamental changes and all the uncertainties has been happening these days. The government shut down and the government has no news about reopening very soon. And also there is a new US-China tariff like threats, whatever, like the discussions has been around. So that's why we're seeing there are longer weeks consolidation in this chart. However, within the past, like historically manipulations phase, ETH BTC has been hitting the 20-week moving average and then has a huge bounce. And the 20-week moving average and the 15-week moving average, the green line and the yellow line should be the one that we should be focused on, right? Because if we're looking at the previous cycle, since January 2020, when ETH BTC had a long-term bull trend, ETH BTC has never been dropping below the 20-week moving average and 50 moving average area, right? So if we see it's finding support over here, finding support over here, and finding support in the 20-week moving average, and finding support in this range as well, and here an all-time high, then finally it breaks through and the bear market started. So that's why in this cycle we still need to be focusing on these two moving averages. If ETH BTC chart can still find the supports within these two range, we're likely to see a rebound here and possibly break out to the upside, break out of this downward trend and going to the upside. Okay. And I'm going to show you another trend line is the historically ETH BTC chart, where on June 2017, ETH BTC hit the historically high of almost 0.16, 0.16. And during the last cycle, ETH BTC chart hit around 0.09. So if we're using these two highs and draw a line here, where I think in this cycle, ETH BTC could hitting a range between 0.055 to 0.06 range. I think that should be the target. Reason number one is in the monthly chart, right? We are seeing the yellow line 50-month moving average is around this range, 0.055. And if we move to the weekly chart, we are seeing that the 200 weekly moving average, the blue line is also around 0.055 as well. And also because we're drawing a trend line over here, we should see a very, very strong resistance around this range. Right? So that's why I think the ETH BTC chart could hit the potential target between 0.055 to 0.06 range in this cycle. And now, in the following weeks, we are going to see if ETH BTC start to moving to the upside and trying to break through this multi-year downward trend. If we can break through this downward trend, it will be a very, very bullish signal that ETH will be outperforming the BTC for the following months, which will drive ETH to hit all-time high, as well as leading the altcoin season. All right, so this is the very first one I'm going to show you. The second one I'm going to show is the BTC chart, particularly the daily chart. So in the previous video, I was talking about the huge manipulations, and we are seeing a huge rebound in the BTC chart until we are hitting the 20-day, 50-day, and 100-day moving averages, the green line, yellow line, and red lines. So I was talking about like, because we are seeing these three moving averages squeezing to each other, we should see a very relatively strong resistance area when BTC hit the area. And in the past few days, it does, right? We are seeing that the price has been trending lower after hitting the red line 100-day moving average, and we're seeing the consolidation happening during these days. In the next few days or a couple of weeks, we're going to see if BTC chart can still consolidating within the range or can even break through the 3 daily moving averages. So if it can do this, BTC will have a very, very strong momentum as well. And the very last one I'm going to show is the ADA BTC chart. If we look at the weekly chart, right, what I'm going to talk to right now is pure speculation. It's pure my personal thought because I found some similarities compared to the last cycle. And this is what I'm going to show you. And hopefully we're going to see a very, very, very similar momentum as well in the coming few weeks. All right. On October 2024, we are seeing ADA BTC has a huge upward, and then we are having almost a year's consolidation, up and down, up and down, up and down, until recently we had this huge manipulation. So if we look at in the past cycle, on May 2020, we are also seeing a ADA BTC chart has a huge upward move, and then had a multi-month consolidation up and down, up and down, up and down until January 2021. We had a week down, and then we start altcoin season, right? And this week down is so similar to the one that we had a couple of days ago, the huge manipulation, the historically manipulation. Although the one that we had a couple of days ago is significantly larger than the one that we saw in this chart back in 2020 or 2021. But the overall, the trend is so similar because this is only a week down, and we are seeing the weekly close is also back into this, back into a norm, right? So if the historically the movement repeats, then we are going to see ADA BTC chart start moving up a huge to the upside in the following week. But how long can we see the start of the parabolic move? I have no idea, because in this cycle, everything has been extended. So if we see in the last cycle, ADA BTC chart had a just 5 months or 6 months consolidation, whereas right now we already had like 10 months. So we could see this trend reversal in a few weeks, maybe in a month. We have no idea. But overall, if the trend repeats, we should see ADA BTC chart will have the parabolic move very, very soon. This is just my pure speculation, and that is what I believe it will do eventually. So I think we just need to give the market a little bit more time and let the market figure out what it's going to do, as well as we have to give the time for all the uncertainties to be sorted out. For example, how long until we see the government, the US government reopening up, and what's going to see between the tariff events between US and China, and also we have two big events happening in the last 2 weeks of October. One is the ETF decision during the week of October 22nd, and also the Fed rate cuts decisions during the last week of October. So everything will be, there are so many important events happening during October, and I think if we are being patient, we're giving time for them to figure out. We're going to see something we really want to see. Just be patient and let the market do. I know it's very hard to see the market continue going to the downside, and also I'm seeing my portfolio still continue bleeding, and I'm with you, right? I understand, but I still believe that we're going to see something positive. I'm still seeing some bullish news in the coming weeks. Alright, so that's it for today's video. If you like this content, please don't forget to click the like button and also subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye bye.